Heaven will be awful. I've seen a lot of people online express ideas that, heaven would be boring or it sounds like you're going to be lobotomized. But do their arguments hold up? Let's examine 3 arguments I've heard and see if they really are so bulletproof. So I think the argument I hear brought up most is that heaven's going to be boring and eventually you're going to do everything you want to do, everything that's possible over and over and over, and it's going to be kind of this eternal conscious torment of boredom. But I see no reason to presuppose that a God who's omnibenevolent and omnipotent couldn't just make an infinite amount of experiences that are good. So if there really was an omnipotent God running the show, I don't really see this as a valid critique of heaven. The second point, and I think this holds the most water, is that without suffering, there is no meaning. But here are 2 things to consider. First off, we've already suffered here on earth. So if all you need is suffering to contrast good experiences with, congratulations, you got it. The second thing, though, is that I see no reason to believe that God couldn't change us so that we don't need suffering to be fulfilled. And that leads me into my third point. If God changes us so that we don't need suffering and so that we can't do bad, are we still ourselves? Are we just lobotomized creatures walking around in heaven? I don't really see any reason to believe that we wouldn't be ourselves, unless your whole thing is doing bad deeds. If you've ever tried to break a bad habit, you can probably relate to the feeling of, man, if only I just didn't do this bad habit. Well, that kind of sounds what heaven's, purifying evil thing would be like, right? So just because you no longer have bad habits doesn't mean you aren't you. So those are my critiques of the common critiques of heaven. But if you have any critiques of my opinions or just the idea of heaven in general, leave a comment. I'd love to talk about it.